Good morning, everyone. Officially, I'd like to say hello from the Dunera mobile kitchen. That's what I'm going to call it. I am Lisa Goldberg, and I am here on behalf of dunera.org.au, and I am curating with Melissa Port the incredible food stream that we're very proud of, and we put new things up every week, so keep looking what's coming next. And my very, very super special, my very good friend and best cook I know, Gary Horwitz.
Hi, everybody. So excited to be here again. In fact, today's going to be so special. I said to you when you walked in, Lisa, that the energy that comes from all the memories of baby chickens, those 50, 55 years of my life, we've been making them. So you'll hear a lot about that later, but so happy to be in and get in there and watch and enjoy and savor the flavors.
So for those of you who missed last week, Cooking with Gaz Part 1, we did the most incredible, and I know because I had it for lunch, his stecker, which was a huge fat T-bone steak. It was unbelievable, charred to perfection by Gaz, and then we sat down with a bottle of wine and enjoyed it. It was very good, with about 3 different sauces. So check out that video if you haven't seen it. And today we're going to cover chicken, but today Gaz is going to do beautiful baby chickens peri peri, which I think is your, I'm going to say your signature dish.
Yes.
And for those of you who know that I'm part of the Monday Morning Cooking Club group, well, we, in our first book, which was published in 2011, featured Gary's baby chickens with peri peri sauce, and it just so happens to be there in that book. So Gaz's recipe in there, and he's got a great story to tell about it, which we'll tell in a minute, but we need to get these little babies on the barbecue before we, don't mind the ice maker going over there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We've got to get these babies on the barbecue. As well as the chickens, he's going to do an amazing sauce. Now, the sauce originally had butter, right?
It did, but we've moved on from that.
We've moved on from that, and we're going to make a new version, updated, upgraded, better than ever peri peri sauce to go with these chickens. Do ahead sauce, fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's going to make his new specialty of the house. You ready? Fried. Sorry, let's get it right. Jewish fried rice.
Jewish fried rice, which is eaten traditionally in lots of Chinese restaurants made by the Asians, but we've perfected it for occasions like this with no ham, no chaza, no prawns. It's just delicious. You're going to see that when you put that on a plate and you put a charred baby chicken on top, and you base it with peri peri, that sauce seeps through to the rice. That's okay. It's only a lemon. It's only a lemon. We're going to be okay. So, Lisa, here you go. Cook anymore.
Okay, all good. I'm good. Let's get cooking. All right, so let's talk about the chickens.
Yes, so we need about 40 minutes for these baby chickens, perhaps a bit less. So we're going to get cracking on that. But what I wanted to do was just ask Lisa, do you want to see how we split a spatchcock? Now, let me just give you a bit of history quickly. This chicken's about 500 grams. That's why it's called a spatchcock. Spatchcocks go from about 300 grams, that's in Australia, which is 1/3 of a kilo, up to about 600 grams. It's a small chicken, and then we butterfly them. So spatchcocks, it's a term used, it's a small chicken, from 300 to 600 grams. These are 500 grams. So typically what we would do with these, and I'll be very brief because lots of action today. You put it down on the board.
And I should just remind all of you, if you missed Melissa Port's butterfly chicken workshop from a couple weeks ago, check that out because she goes into it in great detail.
Yeah. Your butcher can do the spatchcocking for you, but if you go into a supermarket or into a local gourmet store and you're getting a baby chicken and it's coming back whole, very easy. Put it breast side down on a board. Very easy. Thanks, Lise. And all you do is put your knife into the backbone. It takes 1 minute, literally. Slip it to the back. Don't go all the way through. Swing it around. And then you just spatchcock it. It's as simple as that. That is called a spatchcock chicken. I'll take that neck portion off, and otherwise she's ready. I'm tossing that in our marinated chicken. The marinade for these chickens is in the Monday Morning Cooking Club. It's really easy. It's olive oil. It's a touch or a splash of white wine vinegar, juice of a couple of lemons, 2 or 3 garlic cloves, a couple of bird's eye chilies, and a little handful of dried chilies. Salt and pepper. We leave that in overnight. I did it this morning. It just gives it a bit extra flavor, and then we're going to put it on the barbie.
Okay, somebody's asked, can I use a Cornish hen?
Absolutely. I've used them in America many times.
Okay, lovely. And what size? Does it matter which size?
Well, the Cornish hens you'll get are about a pound, which is 600 grams, 1.2 pounds. So, you know, the smaller the better because you want to use your fingers, but you can actually do it with all types of chicken. It's just been a legendary experience throughout Mozambique and Africa where you went and got Portuguese chickens, and now all over Europe, you will get these spatchcocks. They roast them, they butterfly them. It's a small chicken.
Just if you're buying in Australia, we do our sizes according to the weight. So if you buy a size 4 baby chicken, that's 400 grams.
Correct.
Size 5 is 500 grams.
Correct.
Size 6 is 600. So that's sort of an indication. And if you wanted to eat one yourself, you need probably a 6, 5.
Yeah, I polish one.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest eater.
Yeah.
Paula will do a half, but my boys are big eaters. They'll do 1.5. So if we have a nice crowd over on a Sunday lunch, and say we got 15 to 20 people, I'll do 20 chickens. And cold the next day, but a lemon over the top, delicious. So easy.
I just like them hot off the barbecue.
Oh, they're going to be special.
Can't wait. All right, let's go.
Let's
so
go.
Take it
we'll
outside.
take that.
Just bear with us again today, like last week. We're going to move you with us as we go. We don't have a we do have a professional crew today. It's us.
It's us.
And so we're going to be moving you around. So just bear with us while we move. I'm just going to come around there, get the computer, and take you outside. So we're not leaving you. We're just going around here.
We're leaving all the ingredients. We'll be back in this space shortly. Follow us to the barbecue.
Okay. So don't mind me. For those of you who weren't here last week, this is how it works. So I'm going to take you, just get rid of that, outside. Okay.
Sunny day. So look at this.
It's a beautiful day, and I must say we are doing much better than we were last week in the rain. Okay. Don't mind me with the mouse. Sorry about this. All right. Okay, how's that? Okay, see, it's sunny. It's beautiful in Sydney today.
It's beautiful. Couple of things. Our barbecue's on just about 270, 280. That's the hottest the Weebers can get to. We really need that because we're going to always do this in a special way. What we have to do is put our spatchcocks, the bone down, so the breast on top. And we just got to put it on there and it's got to sear. Because remember, they've been sitting in a bit of a marinade to get that juice off, to get it dry so that the skin doesn't stick to the barbecue. Hot barbecue to begin. Then we'll turn it down. So watch what we're going to do. And open up the barbecue. Now, I wouldn't suggest you use your hands unless you're very experienced, but that's the chicken there. That's the breast side. That's the boned up side on the bottom. I'm going to take the boned up side. I'm going to place it on the barbecue. Today we've got 8 beautiful chickens. I won't tell you why until we see the guests arrive, but I've got a feeling, Lisa, that a few of the old mates are coming around. As I said to you earlier, my dad used to cook these when I was 5, 6 years old. So some of my best friends are going to pop in for lunch because they've been eating it for 52 years. They want to have one more try today.
I'd love you to tell the story properly. Once the chickens are cooking, I'd love to hear from you the actual story of this recipe. Because it goes way back. You know, we all have these lovely memories from our childhood of people cooking recipes, whether it's our mother or our father, and this is a good one. All right, are all burners on? Yes.
All burners are on, fired up. And Lisa, I don't know if you can smell it, but immediately it's smelling. We got those,
really good.
Those beautiful aromas come through the lemon, the olive oil, the garlic, the salt and pepper. That's all. And we didn't dry the chicken. What's going to happen? I'm going to put the lid down now. We come back in a few minutes. It won't flame up too much, but it's actually going to dry the outside of the chicken. Now, I don't know if you've seen how they do it with duck in Chinese restaurants. They hang it in a wood fire. Once they've injected it with the brines and poured hot water over, it's moist. They hang it for a couple of days, overnight. And that's how they get that crispy part on the outside. It's the same process here. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, it's going to dry the whole side of the chicken before we turn it. We'll be back.
Okay. So we've left the chicken and we're going back inside. You can see the beautiful day it is here. It's very nice. Okay. So now we're going to go and talk. Are we doing sauce first or are we doing rice, Gaz?
Chicken while you make sauce. So I want to get the sauce in the oven.
Are we going to work here or at the...
We're going to work over here.
Okay.
You start first.
All right.
So Lisa, what we're going to do now is we're going to make peri peri sauce. And the peri peri sauce you've got in the cookbook is a new and improved edition. Now, only because you must keep testing, you must keep provoking your ideas in life. And I just felt that the peri peri sauce that I've done today can get somewhat bitter at times, need a little bit of a bigger flavor. So I've started adding a couple of new ingredients which people are familiar with. Just a red pepper, which when you roast them get very sweet. I've got 2 types of chilies here, and I'm going to show you how we do them. We've got a big cayenne pepper chili, known in other parts of the world just as a chili. And we get a bird's eye in Australia, which around the world is a little Thai chili. It's very hot. A couple of things about chilies. If you leave the seeds in, it's hotter. Just remember that. If you don't want your sauces hot, remove the seeds. So what I've done here today is I have done exactly the opposite. I've left all the seeds in. I've got about 6 of these large cayenne peppers chopped in half, and I've got 20 of the bird's eye chopped in half. It's a lot, but I'm making a big batch for you to take home, give to all your friends, Lisa. And when they're completed, that's what they look like in these beautiful jars. And I'll show you how we're going to do that today. They last for up to a month in the fridge. So in this here, we've got, as I said, the bird's eyes, the cayenne pepper, and just some garlic cloves, half a dozen garlic cloves. They're going to go together with my red capsicum, my 2 cups of olive oil, and a little special ingredient, don't tell anybody, it's brown sugar. That'll just take the tart out of it. What we're going to do now is put that in a roasting dish, whack it in an oven at about 180 to 200 for 20 or 25 minutes, and as soon as it starts to cook out, We stop, we take it up, put it in the blender. So easy. Salt and pepper, and it's delicious.
Okay, so Melinda said, sorry, she missed the first 10 minutes and therefore the marinade. Sure, happy to repeat it.
Yeah, marinade, back to marinade.
But anyone who does miss anything, you can always just watch the video later today or tomorrow when Dunera posted. But marinade was just run.
The marinade was very easy, Lisa, and I'll be as close to the recipe as I can remember. It's got 60 ml of vinegar in it, white wine vinegar, juice of 2 lemons, 2 garlic cloves chopped in. It's got two or three bird's eye chilies, and it's got salt and pepper and a splash of olive oil. That's exactly the recipe.
Okay.
So have a look what I'm doing here. I've just got a roasting tray.
Okay, Harvey in Toronto. Hey, Harvey in Toronto. We talk Celsius. So what was the temperature?
350 is 180.
180, 350 Fahrenheit. Yep, okay.
Have a look at that. I've got a tray of red peppers. Watch this, Lise. I'm just going to roughly take all these chilies and the garlic, and I'll actually sit them inside the peppers. I'm going to roast the peppers.
Very nice.
Very nice. It's very Portuguese. So everybody can see what I've done. Any questions, please fire them away. So simple. Before I add the olive oil, I don't know, is that small, what, a quarter of a cup of brown sugar. It's just to sprinkle on top, and it's going to coagulate. It's going to be beautiful. And then I'm going to take this, Lisa, just 2 cups of good olive oil. Don't go for virgin. Virgin is for really specific flavors. This olive oil, just pour it into each of these. Yeah. That's all we're doing.
Very generous with the oil, but you need to be.
You need to, because that's where there's sauce. There's no butters. There's no vinegars at the moment. That's going to come at the end. Salt and pepper. Lots of pepper. And you can also season up afterwards. My salt's just behind the things. Guys, I promise you, ladies and boys and girls, anybody watching, this sauce is to die for. People, when we make the sauce and give it and they come back and say, when's my next jar? It's so delicious, and you can eat it on your eggs, you can eat it on your toast, you can eat it on anything you like.
And I agree. I tasted it this morning when I arrived. It's so good. Very spicy, but very good.
At least 20 minutes in the oven.
20 minutes.
180.
Okay. So, and what's great about it is that you can make it less spicy as well by removing the seeds from the chilies before they go in.
Yeah.
A word of warning, when you're chopping chilies and you're doing it in your bare hands, don't forget to wash your hands
100%.
afterwards. I try to wear gloves if I'm doing lots of chilies because I always forget.
I'm going to wash my hands now.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, the barbecue. We've had about 4 or 5 minutes, so you can see a bit of smoke coming.
Yeah.
We haven't touched them yet. We want to show the viewers what we're talking about drying the outside.
Your hands, you've touched those chilies. I think, there's nothing worse than working with chili and then rubbing your eyes.
Or rubbing.
No, yeah, exactly. There's other things that aren't good either.
We don't talk about on the show.
All right, we're going to go outside and see what's going on with the barbecue. Bear with us while I come around and get you again. Good, I'm getting my steps in.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Well, let's get up there to the barbecue.
Here we go. Okay, let's go to the barbecue. I want you to see, can you see that it's smoking?
Yeah.
And that would worry me, but I'm in good hands here, I think. So there's no need to panic. But at home, I would think smoking, not good.
And you want to show everybody
the sky's the master.
It's sitting at about 220, 230, which again is about 400. It's actually sitting at 450 if you look at the
so it's very hot.
Very hot. Okay. So watch now. See how we've opened it? Now, I don't know if you remember, but when you've been into Mr. Wong's or a great Chinese restaurant, please bring it over here. I want people to see this. Can you see how that's dried out?
Yeah.
Can you see how it's starting to fluff?
Yeah, and it's sort of plumped up a bit.
100%.
And it's like they're just drying out beautifully.
So I'm just going to show the viewers here. It never would stick. So look at that, guys. I put no oil on anything. Yeah. And I've just turned. I'm going to sit it on top here and show you what we've got. See how it's beautifully and charred and dried out now? You could leave it for another 3 or 4 minutes, but we're not. We're going to turn it now. We're going to turn it once. All of them are going to be turned once on their stomachs now because it's dry enough so that the skin won't stick. If you do this too early, sometimes the skin sticks and you don't want your skin sticking. And I'm only going to turn it back again when I know that it's crisp enough and not sticking. It's a very good trick I'm going to show you here. So I've turned it. I won't turn it back again till I can move it without sticking. That'll tell you it's ready to be turned. Everybody got that, do you think?
Yeah, that's the mistake a lot of people make, me too, is that you're impatient and you want to turn it before it's ready. It's the same with fish and skin on the barbecue.
100%.
It's exactly the same. If you're turning it and it sticks, you're too early.
What a beautiful day.
Oh, it's just magnificent.
How lucky are we?
Yeah.
Making chicken, drinking wine.
Thank God those thunderstorms didn't turn up.
Thank God.
So this is great. I would have always started it on the other skin side down, and it's very good to learn that you don't start skin side down.
And the reason why is exactly that. Let's look at it now. Okay?
Yeah.
We're just going to leave this. We could, in fact, close and I'll go back to the kitchen, but we're going to stand here and talk a bit, I think, because we're going to watch them.
Can you all see that? And of course, the smell, like always when we're barbecuing, is unbelievable. Although no one last week told me what they thought of my idea of making barbecue smell a perfume for girls to wear, or boys actually. And everywhere you go, people will say, "Oh, what's that smell?" Wouldn't you like that?
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah. Does anyone think it's a good idea? I don't know. What do you think? Thanks, Melinda. Okay, guys, why don't you tell a little bit about the history of this dish and maybe a bit about your dad?
Absolutely. So I was born in 1962, which is 58 years ago this coming Sunday, my birthday. All gifts are welcome. And I grew up in a beautiful home in South Africa. My parents fought a lot. They got divorced, but it never stopped us entertaining. And those are my memories. The memories I've got of my childhood, my parents fighting like crazy, bickering and bitching at each other, but always serving good food. I mean, that's a paradox, but it's amazing. That was life. And what I remember about my dad, he'd always have a glass of wine. He'd have a green Speedo on, which for those of you who don't remember this, he'd have like a pair of swim trunks on in those days, not the European shorts we wear today.
We're talking
1960s.
Budgie smugglers.
Budgie smugglers. And Dad would always say to me, Gaz, go make me the peri peri sauce. And I would be, I'm not kidding, probably 6, 7, 8 years old. I just learned to go in the kitchen. And it was very easy for me because he had shown me so many times. And our favorite Sundays was doing peri peri baby chicken with our homemade marinade and our homemade sauce. And that's how I grew up. So my friends like Stephen Berman, who I've known for 52 years, David Lazarus for 52 years, lots of other people that live in Sydney have been coming to the Horwitzes for baby chickens for 50 years.
Yeah,
that's half a millennium, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
I think I probably tried them maybe 25 years ago because we're quite new friends. You know, it's only been 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years. But you really just got to be careful at this stage that you don't leave them and go and do something else, because I'm watching carefully now to make sure that they don't burn. They're going to get brown, and I can just start to think to myself, in going about 3 or 4 minutes, let's just check one. Is it going to lift yet? No, it's still sticking a bit. You saw that?
Yeah.
And you can see here, there's just a little bit sticky there. So I'm going to give it 1 more minute, and then we're going to turn it. So those are the childhood memories. Peri Peri chickens on Sundays with ice cold castle lagers. And my boys love them, and everybody we entertain with loves it. And I'm sure all of you are going to try this if you haven't, and you're going to find it a favorite around the house.
I think we should talk about the special at Field to Fork today. This is just a special. We'll repeat it again later, but it's for those of you who are in Sydney. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So these spatchcocks come from Game Farm, and we've got a dozen or so boxes up at the shop, and we're going to give 25% off. So that's a great offer. So, 25% off until they sell out. Get in there, grab them, and make them this weekend.
So you need to go to Field to Fork in Vaucluse.
Vaucluse, and Bondi might have them as well, but if you really want to get them today, go to Bondi, because Vaucluse, we stocked up. We'll probably get some in tomorrow at Bondi. But over the weekend, go to both stores from tomorrow onwards, which is Friday in Sydney, as many as you want, both shops, 25% off. Lisa, I'm ready to turn.
Okay, he's turning. And then we'll talk about the special in a minute. So Harvey says you have hot spots on your barbecue.
All barbecues are hot spots, unfortunately. I'm hotter at the back, not as hot in the front, but I'm watching where the flames are today. But you're right, Harvey.
Harvey, I want to know, do you not have hot spots on your barbecue? So Gaz is turning them, and they're not really sticking, but... No. So are you going to turn them again after this turn?
I'm just going to get this side done a little bit more.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good. Can you see? Can everyone see? Do I need to bring you over there?
Make sure we don't stick, Lise. Look at that. Perfect.
Yeah, they're already looking fabulous.
Yeah, nice, slow process. You can see that side of the barbecue is a little bit hotter, so we'll move them around.
Oh, yes, Harvey, you're right.
Harvey knows what he's talking about. And have a look how crazy that the middle is not as hot as the outside.
Yeah, but this one to me at the front, I'm having that one.
Look at that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we might go and make some fried rice. What do you reckon? Come back in a few minutes.
All right, so we'll say farewell to our chickens for the moment.
We'll put down the lid.
Just go inside. All right.
We're going to turn them down, Liz.
Hot.
Liz, I'm going to put the lid, I'm going to turn them down a little bit, and now they're going to roast a bit. They turn on to about 3/4. I'm going to try to get them there and there. So just turn the barbie down, and you'll be back. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. So if you missed that, he turned his barbecue down to about 3/4 of maximum. Okay.
Now we've got the outside, which is starting to crisp up.
Yeah.
We've got the bottom part of the bird, which is nicely cooked.
You'll be pleased to know, Gaz, that Harvey does have hot spots on his barbecue, but he says you learn to get around them.
Exactly right.
One of the problems of barbecuing life. Okay, we're going to pop you here for now and see what Gaz is doing on the stove.
So what's the time? Is it 12 o'clock yet? No, we can't have the wine yet. But
it's 11:25. I think we can.
Yeah,
Because you know what? There are people watching from Toronto and New York. And I think that because it's your time zone, we can have a glass of wine.
Beautiful.
Okay, so let's open it. I'll grab the wine.
Okay. And I'm going to get one of my big steel pans.
Okay. You cook and I'll grab the wine. I think that's a good thing. And you can cook. Where are the glasses, guys?
Just behind you, Lisa, underneath where that dark crush are there. So, big, beautiful gas burner going full speed. Nice big steel pan. I love steel pans. For those of you that cook, you can do it in a non-stick pan. But just always remember, steel transfers heat better than any other surface. So this beautiful old steel pan, it's just we'll get to the hottest level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some olive oil on the bottom or some vegetable oil on the bottom. In this case, I've used olive oil. I like to cook more with olive oil than vegetable oil. It's just a bit healthier. And I'm going to get it so hot that it's smoking. I'm going to add the eggs first up. Now, this recipe is an incredible recipe from Paula's mum, Gaga, who still lives in South Africa. She's 80 years old. She's been making this fried rice all her life. She's passed this recipe on. It is simply delicious.
I'm just going to do the very important job of opening the wine while Gaz cooks. Okay. Okay, tell us about the fried rice.
Right, so the fried rice now, Lisa, we're going to get vegetable oil or olive oil. I don't know what the viewers would prefer to make it with. What do you think? Olive oil or vegetable oil? Vegetable oil is traditional. Let's do the vegetable oil today. So I'll grab some vegetable oil from here. One second.
And I'll just entertain you all with wine pouring, because that's what I'm here for today. So cheers, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Okay, Dorrit, Gaz turned the barbecue down 3/4 of maximum. So yeah, that's it. There's not another way to describe that. 3/4 of the maximum. Okay. Melinda, l'chaim to you too. Cheers, Jax. Thanks for watching. Jax. I'll just stand here and drink wine while Gaz gets ready. You don't mind that, do you? Might as well. Someone's got to do it, right? Oh, here he is. Okay.
So I'm going with grapeseed oil today. You can grapeseed oil, vegetable oil, olive oil, any of the beautiful oils that get to high temperatures. Peanut oil is also okay, but if you're allergic to peanut oil, we're just going to put this on the bottom of the pan and coat it fully. It's about 2 tablespoons. That's what we're going to fry the egg in to start.
Here's your wine, Gaz.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to have a sip now. Yeah, definitely.
Just while the oil is heating up.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's great to be here. Great to be with all of you today.
Okay, so let's watch carefully. Fried rice. Hot pan, oil, and again, you can use whatever oil you want, but plain. You're not going to use your capsule like that.
Yeah, sorry.
There.
So while that's getting hot, let's just go through the ingredients list. So the first thing I'm going to add is eggs. Beaten eggs. I've got 8 eggs in there. Nice free-range eggs. And then I'm going to add full onion, 1 full onion, a couple of cloves of garlic, a couple of stalks of celery after that, and then a mixture of red and green capsicums.
Onion.
Chopped up. Red peppers and green peppers chopped up. That's the basis for our sauce. And all we're going to finish it off is a touch of soy sauce. That'll be delicious. Lisa, can you just keep everybody busy while I go back to that barbecue? I just want to turn my chooks one more time. You don't have to follow me.
I think I need to.
Okay, well, let's go. Because this can get really hot.
Sorry with the back and forth, but we need to actually look at what he's doing, because that's why. Sandra wants to know if the sauce is similar to Nando's Peri Peri.
Better.
Better.
Very similar, but better.
Similar, but better.
No preservatives, no sorbates in it. It's just a natural sauce. All right, Lise, look here, we're going to go again. Look how nice that's starting to look. Show everybody. Just going to turn this over. Turn it down again. About half now, Lise. And this next period is going to be where you're really going to get some good color on these chookies. Look at them coming. Beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah. So pretty much the outside's almost done, and you just want to cook it through now, right?
Yes, exactly. But I want to crisp up it. Yeah. I want to crisp up the skin on the breast. The backbone's almost done. So by turning it down and putting the lid on, it's almost going to roast it now. Push it down a little bit. And we're going to go back now.
They look really good.
They look unreal. Now, we're not going to worry about it, Lise, because we've got about a half barbecue there. You can see the flame still on the bottom, but it's not a violent flame. I'm not going to burn these chickens. I'm going to crisp them up. And I reckon we're about 10 minutes away from these chooks. 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. Lovely. We'll be back to see you, chookies.
Okay.
Keep well.
Let's go back inside. All right. As I said, at least I'm getting my steps up today, going back and forth. It's good. Exercise and cooking at the same time. What more could you want? Let's go back to the stove. Someone asked, what is the tip if you don't have a Weber? Melinda, do you have a cover on your barbecue? I think it took maybe it's if you do not have a cover, it's just a flat barbecue.
Flat barbecue, you can do it. You just turn them more and more and more. You could always start them off on the barbecue and finish them in an oven.
Yeah.
But if you're really a barbecue person, just turn your barbecue on low, cook it for a little bit longer, and turn them a bit more. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm putting on the fan here, and I'm putting on the light. Excuse the noise for the moment, but our pan, Lisa, as you can see now,
very hot.
It's hot.
It's so hot that I'm going to step back.
And I'm going to have one more sip of wine. Get ready for this. I want this egg fluff out of the pan to jump up at us. Watch this. See this? Let me move this out the way. Watch. See that?
Yeah.
Everybody can see that. And to give you those beautiful pieces of egg pieces, we're not going to panic. We're going to let this cook up almost like a little omelette. And then we're going to get a wooden spoon and we're going to break it up. But we want it to get nice and cooked for the moment.
Yeah. So you saw that oil was really hot.
That's the secret.
And don't be afraid of that. Okay.
All I'm doing is just hitting those holes.
And then you're going to cook the rice in that
Yes.
pan. Have you already cooked the rice?
Cooked the rice. I'll show everybody the rice. I use basmati rice because I like the firm textures of basmati. As you know, basmati's got that crunch. It's best for fried rice. It's perfect, huh? I've done that. If you want to know how to cook rice, it's very easy. Just double the water to the basmati. Cold water, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. Bring it to the boil, turn it down, lots of salt, and just let it sit there. Do not fiddle with your rice. This rice is going to be delicious. We're going to transfer as much rice as we want from here into our egg mix. So as you can see now, our eggs are looking really good. So we're just going to break that up a little bit, Lise. See you get beautiful pieces there.
Very nice.
Look at that.
Please feel free to ask your questions. Gaz is
Push
here
it to the side. Drop our onions and our celery in now. Celery and onions, go.
Interesting.
We'll cook that for a few more seconds. There's enough oils and juices on the bottom of that pan. We don't have to add anything else for the moment. Just cook it through a little bit. Then I'm going to fold that rice over. You see that? Top of the onion. I'm going to let the onion cook on its own now. Looks difficult, but it's not. It's such an easy, beautiful recipe, this.
Smells very good.
We'll let that go for a while, Lisa. And the last thing we add are the capsicums, then the rice, and then the soy sauce. Should we have a quick peek in the oven?
The onions were chopped. Yes, Jax, they were pretty finely chopped, actually.
Yeah.
As was the celery. Okay, let's have a look in the oven.
Let's have a look at the oven. So bring the temperature down a little bit to 180 as I promised.
Oh, I like that oven.
It's a beautiful oven. Have a look. Have a look how gorgeous this. Can you smell it? I mean, it's just mind-blowing that. Look at that. That's starting to crisp up. We've got about 10 minutes to go, and then we're going to throw that in the blender. Goodbye. Keep well.
Okay. Steph missed the ingredients for the sauce.
Okay, really easy, the sauce. Grab yourself a half a dozen capsicums, 4 red peppers or capsicums, cut them in half. In those, each one of those, put a couple of big cayenne peppers cut in half, and a couple of small bird's eye chilies. That goes in. A little bit of brown sugar, salt, a little bit of brown sugar, salt and pepper, and lots of olive oil, 2 cups of olive oil, and let that roast off. And at the end, we're going to add a little bit of white wine vinegar and a little bit of lemon juice, and that'll give us that preservative in it and also give it a bit more tart.
But we will post the recipe on the Dunera website with the video of this event.
Absolutely.
So you will have all the ingredients there. Okay.
Now, Reese, you can see how that's nice and beautiful. Now, those onions are cooking through. We're going to add the green and red peppers now. We'll let those sit there for a while. Just on top. We're going to go back to the barbecue, make sure our chicken's not burning. We'll be back to you. You see how you can multitask? Sauce in the oven, rice cooking on top, back to our barbecue.
I'm exhausted. Okay, let's go. Back and forth. I hope you don't mind the back and forth that we're doing, but it's a good way of doing it without having 3 cameras, which we do not have. All right, let's see. It smells amazing out here. Like, I wish you could actually smell that. I know they say that every time.
Okay, so I'm going to turn them now because I'm going to make sure that they're not ready. These will be beautiful now. I guarantee you, they're going to start looking beautiful.
Oh, they look unbelievable.
And now that's just timing and experiences. I just knew that I had to get out here. They're at the perfect stage to turn for the last 10 minutes. Look at that. Get in close with that camera. Beautiful. We'll turn this one over here.
Very hard to do. Okay. They look and smell unbelievably good. And this is the sort of thing when you eat it, you need a big serviette around your neck. You need a water bowl next to your hands, and you just go for it. There is no polite knife and fork eating here. They look great.
They look great.
And you know, you can see that Gaz knows with his experience when to turn them, and that's something that we'll all learn the more often we make them, right?
Yeah, and the simple thing is, if you turn the barbecue down and you are not sitting in a corner chatting to people for half an hour and you're not forgetful, you can easily control your barbecue. So that the trick is turn your barbecue down. If you've got a hood, pull the hood down and just turn them every few minutes. I mean, I always say that first part's really important, which you saw where I had them face down, inside of the chest down for that first 7 or 8 minutes, getting really dry on the outside. And that first flick that you do is important to watch you don't burn them, but that'll start you off, and then it's a case of just turning them every few minutes. But now we're going to go inside. We're going to finish our fried rice, and this is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, back inside again for the fried rice. Judy has said, don't onions need a lot longer cooking time than the eggs?
No, that's the secret. The eggs went on top of the onion, and it's always been this way, and I've always asked the same question, but you want the onions a little bit crunchier.
Yeah. So it's not like we're making a tomato sauce or a pasta where you want the onions to be really soft and not crunchy. This is a different thing.
Fried rice always got crunchy product in it.
So good question, though. Very good question.
If we show you what we've got here now at the moment, we've got the onion on the bottom, which is cooking away. We've got the egg sitting on top, and we've got the green and red peppers and the celery sitting on top of that. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
I'll bring that to you. See how you can see it's cooking away now?
Yeah.
And now, I can do this. It's really easy to do for me. Just started to do it all around in the pan. I'm just going to test. Just tell the viewers what we're looking for there. We don't have lots of oil in it. We don't have lots of butter, but it's crunchy and it's delicious.
Yeah. And this is a dish where it doesn't matter if the onion has a little crunch. It doesn't taste raw, though.
No.
And the celery is crunchy and lovely, too. Very nice.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to now go in and I'm going to get probably quite a few people coming for lunch. So I'm going to take about that much. But look how beautiful that rice is. That rice is just dry and it's going to fall off there into that. I'm just going to put that in there. And now for me, I'm going to give about as much rice as I've got ingredients. That's just how I cook. I feel half and half. So another big spoon of that.
Now, I used to think that you had to use, or not have to, but it was better to use rice that had been cooked the day before for fried rice.
It is, but taste how firm
is that because it's dry? It dries it out.
Yes,
so
but this is dry because it's firm.
Yeah.
If it's overcooked, then you've got to have it cold from the day before.
Yeah.
This way it's beautiful, you see. I think it's about enough rice for us for lunch. What do you reckon?
How many friends you've invited, Gaz? That's what I'm not sure.
Okay, now you be careful with this ingredient. One of life's great ingredients, but also can bring down any dish. Too much of this, and it's too salty. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do, and I'm going to do it quite cleverly. I'm just going to do 2 caps to start. 1, 2, 3 for the size. That's probably enough for me to start. Or maybe you can always add more, but you can't take it out.
Yeah.
One of the oldest tricks I learned at hotel school was always start off by testing. Once you put too much chili in, too much sugar, too much vinegar, you can't get it out.
Yeah. Very good advice. Any more questions, please ask as we go along. Gaz would love to answer. Smells very good in here. Very good. Next generation of Dunera, we need smelling Zoom events, I think.
Or we have some live shows somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be good. I think we should go to Toronto and New York, or when we're allowed to leave the country. That would be good. Yeah. Okay. So just the smell. Smells very good. Smells very good. Okay. So Andrea says, the chicken seem to have been on for quite a long time. I hate dry chicken, don't we all? How long in total? Remember,
30 to 40 minutes, we said, Liz.
Yeah,
they've been on for 30, they're nearly there.
Do you remember that these are chickens on the bone? So you've got a lot more. Well, you need to cook it longer because with the bone, if it was a breast, different story. Agree with you, but they've got bones, and the bones, chicken has to char and everything has to cook through. So it does take that amount of time. And I've never had dry chickens here. So trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. I'm going with a little bit more soy. Yeah. I'm trying to get that color in there, another 2. So I've had 5 or 6 capsules of soy, which is probably 2 tablespoons. And I will start to see that color.
Just going to have a little taste as we go. Just to check it's okay.
How's that, Liz?
It's already very good. And so simple. Okay. Thank you, Sheila. She says, absolutely fantastic demo. Because he is fantastic. This man is fantastic. Okay, any more questions? So just to answer you Andrea, 30 to 40 minutes. Chickens.
Yeah, 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to turn this down now and kind of have a little taste myself, please. A little bit more soy.
Yeah.
Sorry about this, but
the thing about the two of us is that we really hate our food. Okay.
There's a couple more tablespoons of soy. So probably 4 tablespoons. Again, it's so easy to make this.
Yeah.
You can hear it now coming through. And I would say that our rice now doesn't need any salt. The soy gives you that.
And can you make the rice ahead? Oh,
Yes.
Someone just asked that. Sandra.
Saying, of course you can. And you know what? We always do. We never do this in front of the guests. We do this in the morning. Paula normally makes it in the morning and puts it in a bowl and I whack it in the oven. That's it. Just to warm it. It's cooked now. I'm going to turn that down now and it's done. Taste that.
Okay, I don't have a taste.
A bit of black pepper over the top and we're done.
Yum. So good, so simple, just delicious.
And what it's got to do, it's got to sit there like a potato does or a piece of pasta. It's got to sit there as the base to get the sauce over it. This with the peri peri sauce over it is what you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay, Eleanor has asked, what can you use instead of celery?
More capsicum.
What else could you? Anything else? It gives a lovely crunch. But some people don't like
red peppers, green peppers, onions, shallots. You could use any of those stuff. You could do asparagus if you wanted to. A green asparagus could go.
That's lovely. Okay, rice is done.
Right.
Is our sauce ready to?
Our sauce. We're gonna. I think what we're gonna do now is we've had our chickens on for 25 minutes. What is the time, Lisa?
It is 11:43.
I'm gonna make the sauce now. I'm gonna grab the chickens. We're gonna have lunch.
Okay, ready? Sauce time. So let's go back on the kitchen bench.
Yeah, go back.
You're gonna make it.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
So let me grab your box and I'll bring it over here for you. Yep, perfect.
Any more questions, please feel free to ask while we're just setting up the sauce
There you go,
station.
madam.
Are you want to hear?
Yes, please. Right, just grab your blender, everybody. Three one of these. Very easy. Very easy to do.
So Gaz is going to grab his food processor. But again, if you've got a blender or a Vitamix or something, that'll also do the same thing. We're just processing the ingredients that are in the oven to make the sauce. Okay, so food processor with a metal blade. Esther says, I wish you could come for lunch too, Esther. You know, and hop on a plane.
Let's go for lunch.
Be in quarantine for 2 weeks,
Just
and then
come
you'll
for
be
lunch,
here.
absolutely.
You know what? You'll be here in 2 weeks for lunch. We'll keep it warm. I shouldn't joke. Sorry. It's not fair to Melbourne people, actually. Do you want to see how the chickens are going? Shall I take you outside again? I know there's lots of back and forth, but you've got to see them. Can we have a look?
Yeah, I'll just send the last two. Remember those two that we said weren't on the hotspot? But look at those. I just turned those two back ones there. Look at them.
They look absolutely unbelievably good.
Can you see how they're bubbling here in this corner here, Lise?
Yeah.
That's the chicken cooking through. These are literally 5 minutes away.
They look and smell amazing, as always.
We'll be back in 5 minutes to get you for lunch, chickens. Just enough time to make our beautiful sauce.
Yeah. Okay. So Steph says, how long will the sauce keep for? What did you say? A month?
A month.
A month. In a sealed jar in the fridge, 1 month. Okay. Next question is, how long do you suggest marinating the chook?
Overnight.
Overnight. There's our sauce ingredients there, bubbling beautifully in the oil, and they're going to go into the food processor in a minute. Okay. More questions. So.
Best way to do this, Lise.
Okay.
Don't burn yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So my sister says that when she comes to Melbourne, well, she's actually telling me privately, but I'm going to tell everybody. When she comes to Sydney, that you should cook this for us.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree with you. We should make a booking here. Okay. Harvey says the chicken looks great. Great, Harvey. Happy you like it. Can you tell us where to buy them in Melbourne? Those baby chickens.
Yeah. Go to any chicken shop and ask for Spatchcocks. Woolworths, Safeway in Melbourne will have them. Coles, the bigger Coles will. Most of your good supermarkets have Spatchcocks in them, or a specialist chicken shop, or a specialist butcher shop. Brand markets will have them for sure. All right, Lisa, what we've got here, let me just bring that across to you. You stay where you are, Lisa. Okay. These have got a beautiful brown color on everything. You can see they're nice and soft. The chilies are done. So what we're going to do now, we're very careful. We're not going to burn ourselves. We're not going to be silly. We're just going to lift these out of here. We're not going to make a mess. We're just going to pour these into our.
Because remember, the oil is very hot, so please take care.
If we had more time, I'd let it cool, but we are raced for time to have our lunch together. So I'm just stirring everything into the blender here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pour the oil in over the top. Maybe I've got the sugar in there already. The last thing I'm going to do once, depending on...
Is this fully heated? Is this heat proof enough for that hot oil? Okay. Somebody asks, don't know, Gaz, is this a hobby or a career?
You know what? Mark Twain said, and this is such an interesting thing, I've been at Lend-Lease for 10 years, but cooked all my life, and all I want to do is go back and cook again. But Mark Twain said something, and I really think about every day of my life. He said, you'll always remember 2 days in your life. The day you were born, and the day where you found out who you really want to be. I really want to go back to my roots. I want to go back to how I cook. I want to cook for people. I want to entertain. And the reason I've stayed in property for so long is it's so lucrative. It doesn't give you what food does. It doesn't give you the joy. It doesn't give you that inner warmth.
But it pays,
a lot of money.
Yep.
So now in my life, for the rest of my life, I'll do some property and I'll cook. And I love a big cooking school and some big restaurants. I love to spend all day cooking because nothing gives me more pleasure. Here we go, Lise. Lid on.
Okay. Ready? I'm stepping back. I'm nervous because of the hot oil. So I'm just going to step over here. What are you after, Gaz?
These things here.
Ah, okay, good.
Okay, that just goes in there, as you know.
That's it.
See the colors come, beautiful orange color. I don't go all the way. I let us have a little couple of chunks in it. Stop now. I'm going to take a little. Look at that.
Beautiful. Smells great too.
And I'm just going to taste it before I add my lemon. One last trick, Lisa. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, sure.
Can you take this lemon? I'll just show the viewers. I've cut this lemon in half just before we serve. It's beautiful. I've cut it in half, and you can see, and I'm going to ask Lisa to put it that way down on my barbecue.
It's such an important job. I'm going to do it well. I promise you.
Now, that is to die for. It's absolutely delicious. All I'm going to do, it'll kick at the end, is, guys, such a beautiful sauce. The flavor, intensity. I'm going to give Lisa a taste because Lisa doesn't like it too hot. I can bring that flavor down a little bit. What it's got this beautiful texture in it. Please try that for me. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon to it. How's that flavor, Lisa?
Spicy.
Spicy. A little bit of lemon to bring that flavor down a bit.
It's very good though.
I'm going to put this one for 1 more minute.
Excuse me, it's making me sneeze.
Bless you, Lisa. Beautiful white jug. Put that over there.
It's lovely and spicy, but it did make me sneeze. Okay.
Okay, take the seeds out if you don't want it as spicy as mine.
Okay, so Melinda's asked, what was on the capsicum other than oil? Just go back. You'll get the recipe sent through Dunera. It's going to be on the page where the video is shown with all the ingredients. It was pretty much chili, garlic.
Let's go fetch our chickens.
Let's go fetch our chickens. Shall we go fetch our chickens?
Our sauce is ready.
They look really good, the chickens.
We'll put our sauce over there and back. I love chickens on a white platter. I don't like the colored platters because I want the chicken just to show off on you. I'm going to pour this beautiful big platter, turn off my barbecue, make sure it's off. And I think we've been going for 35 minutes. Look at them.
Oh, they look really good.
Beautiful. And this is quite important because what you can do here, just sit them on top of each other like that. Look at that. Those look absolutely.
Yeah, Sandra says the sauce is spicy so you can drink more wine. Exactly, Sandra. 100%. My sort of person. That's it.
That's it.
If you make the sauce ahead of time, do you reheat it?
No.
That's a good question, Shirley. Thank you. No?
No. What you should actually do is baste it on. Not everybody in our house likes it spicy like this. So I'll make them like this. And then people take their own sauce and pour it over. But if you really want to be spectacular, we could come now and baste these all, Lisa.
Yeah.
If you know you've got 10 people that love spice, that's the way to do it. But this is going to stay crispy now till the sauce goes on it. Have a look at that.
They look absolutely 10 out of 10.
Place this one over.
I mean, I think all of you would be so thrilled, as I would, if we could make chickens like that.
All I've done is could have done it a couple more minutes.
Earlier.
A little bit earlier. There's our garnish. That's all we need for our Peri Peri chicken. Let's go have lunch. Oh, delicious.
Who's ready for lunch? I am. This is the best part of actually this job, is that I get to eat all these amazing lunches. And I'm very excited for this one. All right. All right. Here we go.
That's beautiful. I'm going to get the fried rice for you.
And I'm just going to sit here with my wine and wait for the chickens to... Now, I just want to talk about your sauce, Gaz, for a minute, because the one in the jar is a little bit thicker. So
yeah,
what's that?
In the fridge.
Okay. Of course, because the olive oil. So it's quite nice to do it ahead and have it in the fridge. And then it's more like I won't say aioli, but more of an aioli vibe because you've got the olive oil that's gone a bit solid in the fridge.
Well,
But this is lovely actually to pour over the chicken. So either way works. They really, really look good. He's done an amazing, amazing job again. Okay. I've got my eye on the one that's charred on the wings.
Look at that. There's our rice.
Can you see? I'm going to show you the wings. Let's show you the wings. Show you the rice. Okay, so there's the lovely rice. And if you don't want to make, well, if someone doesn't want to make fried rice, if they don't want to go to that effort, what's a nice thing?
A salad, a beautiful green salad, a rocket of parmesan salad, or a beautiful.
And you could do some baked potatoes. You could do
anything.
Yeah.
You know what you do as well, Lex? A little new potatoes, a touch of butter in them and parsley, and that'll come through. Now, one thing I want to do is just grab this.
I think I can break off the wing and he won't notice.
Oh, I saw that.
No, I didn't.
That's for our sauce.
Okay.
I want to show
sauce
you.
is lovely and thick, actually.
Right, so I want to just do one thing before we eat. How much time have we got left? Let's just have a look here.
Yeah, we've got heaps of time.
Okay, so.
The sauce is lovely and thick. It's not smooth. You can see what's in it. You can see the components, which is really nice thing.
What I could do is show, somebody asked about Nando's.
Okay.
I don't have any at the moment. Actually, I do.
Is that the Nando sauce?
This is Nando.
So Sandra, who asked the question, he's actually got Nando sauce.
I wanted to show the difference. I'll put a little bit on the plate here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And a little bit of a homemade.
No, you can't compare.
You can't compare this, guys. Have a look at that. That's the Nando's. It's a touch of vinegary. It doesn't have the essence, doesn't have the flavors coming through. The subtleties, the capsicums, the red fiery peppers.
Did you add the vinegar, says Sandra?
I did not. I added lemon.
Okay, we've got lemon instead of vinegar in this one. Is that right?
Absolutely.
I'm tasting the sauce now.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is something quite special. So,
now, is there any seasoning in the
salt, pepper?
Yeah.
You happy with it?
When did you put the? Did you say? I can't remember when you seasoned it.
Just right at the end. Right at the end.
Just the end. Okay. So season it to taste, salt and pepper, whatever you think it needs. And the sauce is really, really good, and it's making my mouth water. And the smell of these chickens with the charred skin is just killing me. And I'm trying not to be too impatient.
If you're trying to impress your guests and just sit down, you're not asking to come to the buffet table. Let me show you how to plate this. This is quite important. Lisa's probably going to get. Lisa, which one do you want? So I'm going to put
this one here.
I'm going to put this.
Well, any of the
couple of spoons of rice on the bottom.
They all look really good.
As you can see there, not so much rice. You don't have to be over generous. Which one are you going to have, Lisa?
I'm going this one.
Okay, so Lisa's going to take this one. It's a little bit more. And I'm gonna put the sauce on as if it was for me. So I'll probably have that one. Let me put this one aside for you.
No, that's okay. There's many others I can choose from.
And what I'm going to do then, I'm going to get my little paintbrush. This is going to be gorgeous. I'm just going to do this, and then I'm just going to paint this over. And you'll see what happens to the chicken. It comes up with this beautiful color all over.
Yeah. So clever.
Now, if you serve that like that, we clean up the plate. Yeah.
Your ice machine is very busy today.
Very busy today. Just do that, Lisa.
Okay, so Sandra says, doesn't that crisp the skin?
It will. That's why you do it right at the end.
It will. Did you say you could do that on the barbecue?
You could, but it won't crisp the skin. It kills the skin.
Yeah.
But this is how I would serve it typically. I'd do a little bit of squeeze of lemon over the top. I'd serve that on the side. Get that pepper off.
Sandra, yes, it will, but you're going to eat it now anyway. So it's sort of, I think it's good. It's very good, actually.
And that there's Peri Peri chicken. Love me. Lisa,
yes.
Try a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you should try it without so much sauce on it.
Really?
Well, do you want to have a little?
I'd like to just show you the inside of the chicken without the sauce, just so
Sure.
we can see. You can see how good it is just on its own with a wedge of lemon. I would be so happy with that for lunch.
And all you need to do is just grab that little Maryland there. Have a look at that. See how that comes away. And have a look. No pink juices, but look how soft and juicy.
It's delicious, and all the bones are charred. And I don't know if you're like me, but the little charred bones are delicious. Or you can take the bones off, and you've got a beautiful little Maryland. It is very hot still. And remember last week we talked about resting. And again, same thing. It's too hot to eat straight off the barbecue. So by the time you put it on a platter and you get your sauce and your rice, it's probably sat for about 10 minutes, which actually just helps make it perfect.
If anybody wants to come and join us that's watching, you're welcome.
Yeah, if anyone's, it's very hot. If anyone's around the neighborhood,
Look at that.
we're here with lots of chickens. and I have to taste it because it really looks. And this little part of the wing,
This is to die for.
so good. Sorry to eat in front of you. It's a bit mean, isn't it?
Oh, that is just Pops. He'd love this mud like that.
Even the chicken just on its own.
You put some lemon on it?
Absolutely, I was about to. It's really, really brilliant on its own. And then lemon, next level. And then sauce, next level again.
Juicy, full of flavor.
Really good. And then the sauce. Let's just do a little bit of a. Oh, that's very good. Melinda says lekker.
Lekker stuff, eh?
What does lekker mean?
Nice.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. So,
What a yummy lunch, eh? Hey, Stephen Byrne, come over here, Steve. This is my old friend, Stephen. He's been with me for 52 years. Come over here.
he's a bit shy.
He's brought some wine. Steve, tell the viewers, I told them about you, and I said that.
A little taller than
How long
these
you
two.
you had to bring that up. How long have you been eating these with at the Horwitz's house? When do you remember that?
Maybe when I was 12 years old,
We ate them, eh?
Pops used to make them, and
Yeah.
So we're
followed
having a
through.
drink. We're having a drink to Pops actually.
We're having
Ah,
a big
cool. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
So I hope that you enjoyed today's fried rice, baby peri peri chickens, and of course the great Gaz. It's been fun for me, and I of course get to have lunch again, which is a win-win. I just want to remind everyone about Dunera. To head to the website dunera.org.au for what's on next. And next Thursday in a week's time, I am going to be back in my kitchen, and I'm going to have Laura Gluckman with me making some beautiful savory Sephardi pastries. So something completely different to this and really, really delicious, I'm sure. And then the following week, we have a super special Dunera event coming up. So put it in your diaries, 11 a.m. Thursday the 26th of November. The event is called, wait for it, Mrs. Maisel at the Dunera Deli. And we have Nikki Curter singing the Mrs. Maisel songs, and yours truly making a few dishes inspired by the television show.
Lovely.
It's going to be bloody delicious and lots of fun. That'll be with, of course, Ilan Kidron and me and Nikki Curter. So check that out. And thank you for joining us. We've had a ball. Guys, I can't thank you enough.
Don't
for
have
your
to thank
time
you. I
again.
love doing this.
And it's wonderful having you. And I'd love to have you back
Whenever.
in the new year.
Whenever you want me, I'm
Something
available.
amazing. So please let Dunera know how much you love Gaz, and let Dunera know what you'd like Gaz to show you next time. He has a huge repertoire of the most amazing recipes. So what do we get you on next time to do? Wonder.
You let the viewers decide.
Yeah,
Thank you
let us
so
know.
much, everybody.
Thank you all, and thanks Dunera. We'll see you next time.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.